One thing that's been on my mind a lot recently, which I want to talk about in this video, is insecurities. I know, me personally, I used to be pretty insecure not too long ago, about 3 years ago. Yeah, pretty much 3 years ago, before I started going to the gym. Now, obviously, I've completely changed my body. I've got my dream physique. I'm not the most shredded, I'm not the biggest guy, but I look great, and it's such a big difference to what I used to look like. Because right now, I'm about 67 kilos. I know that's not much, but when you contrast it to me weighing 55 kilos only 2 years ago, that's a big difference. I used to be skinny and just pretty much dislike what I saw in the mirror day after day. And that's not a good way of living life, let me tell you that. But whom do I have to tell that? You know that. You watching this video right now, you are probably in this situation, because that's why you clicked on this video, right? So, if we're being real, it is pretty much unnecessary to keep yourself in that skinny or in that fat or whatever situation you're in where you're insecure about your body. It's unnecessary harm you're doing to yourself, because not only is it insecurity that's constantly on your mind when you're around other people, when you're going to the beach, or when it's summer and it's hot outside and you just want to take your shirt off, you just want to take your hoodie off, have something like a tank top underneath. I know a lot of people of you currently cannot do that because you're too insecure about the way you look. And I feel that. I used to be like that too. I used to always wear like baggy t-shirts. It's not really because I was too insecure. I never really thought about it in that way. But it was just, for me, I unconsciously always picked the baggy t-shirts out of my drawer. That's just what I did. I never thought about why am I doing this. But I never wear like skin tight clothing. I never did that. Even though it would be way more comfortable, it could have probably looked good, but not back then. It wouldn't have looked good back then, and I wouldn't have felt good wearing that type of clothing. Now, it's not that big of a deal if you don't want to wear tank tops all the time. Like, not everybody wants to sit in his garden, get sunlight exposure, and sit in that tank top and record it with video. Like, that's not everyone's life, obviously. But when it comes to going to the beach, when it comes to going to some lake or whatever with your friends, and everyone's taking his shirt off and going in the water, and you're there debating in your mind whether you want to actually take it off or find an excuse to just say, yeah, nah guys, I'm good. Actually, it's not that hot. I think I might just sit this one out. I'm just chilling right here. Come up with some random ass excuse, even though it would be the most normal thing ever to just take everything off. Not everything, obviously. Take your shirt off and just go into the water with your friends. Have fun. But in your mind, when you look at... Here's my dog, by the way. Look. But in your mind, when you're looking at your friends, even though they're not shredded, they look better than you. They look like you would want to look. Why would you... It doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't want to change. Now, luckily, it's never been that bad for me. I would have taken my shirt off. But I know a lot of people aren't like that. I know a lot of people will either go into the water with a shirt on, because I see that on a regular basis when I go to the beach. So I see people going inside of the water with a shirt on. It's usually the fat guys. It's very rarely the skinny guys, because I feel like there's more fat guys out there than skinny guys. But that might just be me. Yeah, and looking at that, I always feel bad for them, because it would be such an easy fix. Even though you gotta understand, me saying it's an easy fix is such a lie. It's, in theory, it's a easy fix, but it's actually the most difficult thing you've ever done. Ever. But only for the first 2 or 3 months. That's the thing. When you start going to the gym, or if you're skinny, when you start, just like I was, when you start bulking up, eating more, that's difficult. And I know that it's difficult for a lot of people, because I'm doing fitness coaching. I know how it is. And I can speak out of my own experience. It's hard getting your calories in if you're a skinny guy and you have no appetite. And also it's hard if you're a fat guy to cut down on calories, because you're not used to either eating that much or eating that little. And then also, you're supposed to go work out all of a sudden. Where do you have that time? How do you just magically fabricate all of that time to allocate to the gym, to eating more, eating less, to thinking about how to progress in life, how to do this, do that, maybe build a business? I know the struggles of modern men, of young men especially, are quite difficult. But that's why I'm making this video right now. I'm going to give you the solutions to literally every one of those problems. Ooh. Alright. So, the solution to the first problem on how to diet is actually quite simple. If you're a fat guy, and if you just start out with wanting to lose a couple of pounds, wanting to join the gym, get in a bit better shape, you don't want to get into fucking super shredded, have abs while sitting down shape. That's not what you're after. Yes, it would be great, but let's be real. You have some realistic goals. You just want to drop a few pounds and just look a little better. Now, if you're going after that, then all you really got to do is cut out the junk food, bro. Just focus on that for the first month of you on that journey. Then, as you get further along, maybe watch what you're eating. Eat a little more of the real food diet. I know it's so cringe nowadays with all these TikTok boys and these wooden cutting boards and shit. But as dumb as it sounds, this shit actually works. Eat some whole foods. Just focus on eating steaks. I know it's not affordable for everyone, but if you compare it to eating out from McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, whatever you have in your location, buying a steak here and there, it's not that much more expensive. You don't have to buy the best quality fucking tomahawk steak. You can just buy regular steak and just eat that every now and then. Get some avocado with that. Another thing that I always advise fat people to eat is watermelon. There's so many great things that you can just eat. There's potatoes. Potatoes is another thing. Potatoes is one of those things where it's high in volume, but it's low in calories. Yes, it's carbs and everything, and people tell you carbs are bad, carbs are this and that, but carbs are only really bad if you want to cut out your brain fog. If you're okay with having a little bit of brain fog for the benefit of losing weight, then just integrate carbs in your diet, because that's what you've done all your life. Like, you've eaten a lot of carbs because that's how you got fat in the first place. You've eaten so much bread and burgers and whatever. And that's the type of carbs we're trying to cut out, though. We're trying to get rid of the fucking peanut butter jelly sandwiches. We're just trying to focus more on some actual food. One good guideline you can follow, which I always recommend, is if it didn't exist 200 years ago, just don't eat it. And that might sound hard, but if you think about it, it's not. There's no reason for you to eat tofu. There's no reason for you to eat fucking burgers from McDonald's. Why? Why would you do that? You know it's bad for you. You want to lose. That's one of the things I don't understand. You say you want to lose weight, but the same week you've said that, you go into Chick-fil-A. So there's something not adding up. Something's not adding up. So cut that out. Why did I say watermelon is great? Because it's the same as with potatoes. It's not carbs, essentially. It's not this fucking huge carb load thing. But what I meant with the same as potatoes is that it's high in volume, but it's essentially no calories. Because a watermelon, if you think about it, is like fucking 80% water. You can slurp it, but it's still gonna make you full. So if you're really hungry and craving something sweet, which I know a lot of fat people often crave, that's how they got fat in the first place, then don't go into your drawer and pick out the fucking chocolate. Maybe try some watermelon. Maybe try something like that. And that's just the basics that you can integrate. And over more and more time, you can then start and go deeper into this. But if you're not having a coach who's literally like telling you this and this and this and this has to be optimized for you and for your circumstance, then I wouldn't go and search on social media for the optimal diet to lose weight. Just focus on showing up consistently. First, build the habit. Ease into it. Don't go hardcore, because when the motivation starts to die off, which will happen in a week or so, then you're out again. Then you're out of that frame again, and then you just stop, and then you're back at Chick-fil-A. But if you just say, all right, I'm going to cut out junk food. That's something I can do. Yes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult because that's been my life. I've went to fucking restaurants, like fast food chains, for at least once a week. It's a doable task. Focus on that. Cut out the junk food. Even if you're skinny, cut out the junk food. It's always a good idea to cut out junk food. So cut out the junk food and just focus on eating real food. Food that actually existed 200 years ago. And you will become better. You will become more like the man you want to be. It's really that simple. Do I recommend following a strict diet plan? Absolutely. But not just getting some random diet advice off the internet from somebody who doesn't know your circumstance. I wouldn't say that just because you've looked up, how to diet and how to lose 10 fucking kilos of fat within the next 30 days and somebody tells you about keto. I wouldn't advise that. Focus on the staples, focus on the basics. Get the basics down first, then integrate whatever you want to try out. The next thing is, whilst you're doing that, whilst you're starting to change your habits, add one more habit, and that's the gym. I can't tell you guys how much the gym has changed my life. How much the gym has made me into a better man, into someone that I can be proud of. The gym is really a blessing. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult. And especially in the first month or two, when you're going there, and because your body isn't fucking adapted to this. Your body doesn't know where all of this stress is coming from. Because till now, you've just been sitting at home and fucking smoking weed or playing video games all day. And all of a sudden, you're fucking sitting there in the gym, hitting a leg day. And you're sore for the next week straight. And you can't move your body anymore. Because you've worked out so much. Yes, that's difficult. And yes, you're gonna wonder why the fuck you're even doing that. If it's even worth all this hustle. But let me tell you. It is. It fucking is. From someone's perspective who's went through that before, it 100% is. You know it's for a purpose. It's for something that you yourself chose. And not only is it for getting in shape, it's also for keeping a promise to yourself for pretty much the first time in your entire life. Yes, that's deep. But if you really think about it, how often have you told yourself that you're going to lose weight, that you're going to gain weight? I guess that's probably been a couple of times. If you really think about it right now. We have time. This video is probably going to be 30 minutes long. You have time. Think about it right now. How many times have you told yourself you're going to start going to the gym, you're going to cut out the junk food, you're going to drop some pounds or gain some pounds or whatever, and you haven't followed through? How many times have you told yourself, yeah, I'm going to start doing cold showers, or I'm going to start waking up early, and you've done that for 2 or 3 times and then you just stopped? Well, that's something the gym helps you with. The gym actually helps you build that discipline. But that's this whole other fucking new topic of delayed gratification and everything. I'm not going to go into that right now. But yeah, the gym actually helps with that. Because once you have adopted that habit, and you adopt that habit within like 2 months, I promise you guys that it gets just like brushing your teeth. You just do that. And it gets to the point where it even feels unhealthy, where it feels like if you haven't hit the gym for like a week or two because you've been sick or whatever, which is the only reason you wouldn't hit the gym, because you pretty much get addicted to it, then you feel like shit. You feel like you haven't done anything. You feel like you're just some waste bag. But that's the other extreme. But you'll get to that point if you just fucking lock in. If you just fucking bite your teeth together. Just say, yes, it might suck. Yes, it's gonna be hard. Yes, it's difficult. But it's worth it. So do that. Do just that. If you guys want personal fitness advice from me, as someone who actually went through that journey himself, from someone who's not just gonna sugarcoat things, from someone who's actually gonna call you out on your bullshit, then DM me on Instagram. My handle is @valegams. It's the first link down in the video description. And it's also going to be in the pinned comment, my Instagram name. You can DM me on there and tell me that you want to get coached by me. I can promise you this. If you do as I say, even though it's not going to be easy, it's probably going to be one of the hardest, if not the hardest task you've ever done in your life. I will get you to where you want to get. It might not be within 30 days. It might not be within 60. It might not be within 90 days. But if you're consistent with me, and if you don't bullshit yourself, if you don't lie to yourself, and if you don't lie to me as your coach, I can promise you, you will get to your goals. And if you don't, then this is my promise to you right now. I will give you your money back. That's a deal. Alright, for more content like this, for more fitness secrets, which you're not gonna find anywhere else on this platform or on Instagram or anywhere on social media, of this fucking just raw, just heartfelt content, heartfelt advice, drop a follow, check out my other videos, and I wish you guys the best of luck. And as always, I want to end this video with a quote: don't compare, be compared to. I see you guys in the next one.